Chapter 1: Computer Hardware Components. Objective: Components of a computer system. Internal hardware components. External hardware components. Input devices. Output devices. Storage devices. Introduction. A computer is an electronic machine which is used to perform various tasks according to the instructions given to it. These instructions are given in the form of programs. These programs make the computer hardware to work. A computer system consists of two types of components: computer hardware and computer software. These two components are independent of each other's functioning. Without these components, a computer system is not able to work. Components of a computer system. Computer hardware. Computer hardware are those parts of the computer which can be touched and felt, like CPU, computer monitor, keyboard, mouse, motherboard, etc. Computer hardware are of two types: internal hardware. B. External hardware. Computer software. Computer software are the set of programs which are used to give instructions to the computer, and the computer works accordingly. Softwares can also be used to perform some specific tasks like accounting system, payroll system, etc. In this chapter, we will discuss about the computer hardware in detail. Tech tip: CPU speed is measured by the number of instructions it executes per second. Internal hardware components. Internal hardware are those parts of computer components which are installed inside the CPU cabinet. When you open the CPU cabinet, you will see the internal hardware in it, like RAM, ROM, motherboard, processor, sound card, video card, network card, hard disk drive, etc. Let us discuss about some of the internal hardware components of a computer system. Microprocessor. Microprocessor is an important part of the computer system which is used to perform the processing of the instructions it received through input devices. It is also known as the Central Processing Unit (CPU), which is placed on the motherboard in the form of a small silicon chip with millions of transistors on it. The CPU consists of three components. ALU, Arithmetic Logic Unit. This unit is used to perform various arithmetical operations like addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division, and logical operations like less than, greater than, equal to or not equal to, etc. MU Memory Unit. This unit is used to store the data and instructions. It can be an intermediate data or the final result. CU Control Unit. This unit is used to control the overall functioning of a computer system, like when to transfer the input data to processor for processing, when to send the final input to monitor, etc. Motherboard. A motherboard is the dominant circuit board and is the most essential part of the computer system. It is used to hold together various pivotal parts of the computer system, including CPU, memory, and connectors for input and output devices. The base of the motherboard consists of a rigid plastic of non-conductive material which has a thin layer of copper and aluminum foil printed on it. A motherboard also contains a number of sockets and slots which are used to connect other hardware components. Motherboard connects the various parts of the computer system, like tech tip. The most common motherboard design in desktop computers today is ATX, an Intel improvement on the AT design by IBM. CPU socket It contains the microprocessor or actual CPU inside the socket. Power connector, it supplies power to CPU and other components. Node bridge, it provides the interface between the CPU, the main memory and other components. South bridge, it is used to control input and output operations and also called as the I/O chip. BIOS, it is a ROM chip which contains the startup instructions for a computer system. External storage controllers, it is used for video display and sound. Expansion slots, it is used for connecting additional circuit boards. Tech tip: graphics card is connected to the motherboard through AGP Accelerated Graphics Port or PCI Peripheral Component Interconnection. Graphics card. Graphics cards are the video cards which are used to produce the images you see on a monitor screen. It is installed on the motherboard as an extra component and used to display graphical data with a high-quality color display and clear appearance. It removes the graphical processing tasks from the processor or RAM because it has its own processor called Graphical Processing Unit (GPU) and Memory Unit, which are used to process the graphical data quickly. It uses some advanced graphics techniques, features and functions to produce these high-quality visual displays. A graphics card is also known as graphics controller, graphics adapter, graphics board or graphics accelerator card. Sound card. A sound card is an expansion card which is used to send and receive the sound signals and installed in a PCI slot of the motherboard. It converts the digital sound data to analog sound data so that it can be played on speakers. In reverse, it also converts the analog sound data received from input device like microphone into digital sound data so that it can be stored within the computer system. It can be used to produce sound on a computer which can be heard through speakers or headphones and also known as audio card, soundboard and audio adapters. It is not an essential piece of hardware which is required to make the computer work like a processor or a RAM. Many of the modern computers do not have sound expansion cards. Instead, the same technology is integrated directly on the motherboard called onboard sound cards. Tech tip: microphone is an input device which is used to record the voice in the computer system. Modem. Modem, known as modulator and demodulator, is a hardware device which is used to convert analog signals to digital signals and vice versa. It is required in case you want to connect the computer to the internet. When you want to transfer the data from your computer to the destination computer, the modem receives the digital data from the source computer, converts the digital signals to analog signals, and then transmits the analog signals through telephone lines over the internet. At the receiving end, the analog signals received from telephone lines are converted into digital signals by a modem, which is then transferred to the destination computer. The conversion of digital signals to analog signals is called modulation, and the conversion of analog signals to digital signals is called demodulation. Modem is of two types. Internal modem, a modem which is directly installed on the motherboard in the form of a card, is called an internal modem. External modem, a modem which needs to be connected to the computer through USB port, is called an external modem. It is a plastic box having lights displayed on it. Tech tip: modem speed is measured in BPS, bits per second, or kbps, kilobits per. RAM, random access memory. RAM is a computer storage which is used to store the data that is currently being used. It is used to store and execute the data for a minimum period of time. The operating system, application programs, and data that are currently being used are kept in this memory so they can be easily and quickly reached by system processor. This type of memory stores the data temporarily because it is volatile in nature. The data stored in this memory is lost once the power is off. This memory can be overwritten with new data. It is also called read/write memory because it is possible to read data from memory and write data into it. It is of two types: static RAM, dynamic RAM. Tech tip: cache memory is a high-speed static RAM which can be accessed quickly by a computer processor than RAM. RAM read-only memory. RAM is used to store the data permanently in it. The booting instructions are stored in the RAM memory. This is non-volatile in nature because once the data is stored in it remains in the memory even if the power goes off. It is called the read-only memory because the data stored in this memory can only be read, but you cannot write new data in it. It is of various types like EPROM, programmable read-only memory; EPROM, erasable programmable read-only memory; EPROM, read-only memory; electrically erasable programmable read-only memory; SMPS, switched mode power supply. SMPS is a type of power supply unit that uses a switching regulator to convert electrical power efficiently. It provides the energy conversion and regulations by power semiconductors that are continuously switching on or off with high frequency. It supplies a well-regulated power to the motherboard and other computer parts and saves power. When a computer is used, it produces lots of heat, so SMPS has a built-in fan to release the excessive heat when a computer is being used. Thus, it provides a great power conversion and reduces the overall power loss. Heatsink. A heatsink is a device which is used to absorb and disperse the heat produced by the electronic and mechanical devices. It is used to cool down the hot components like processor. This type of device is usually found in CPUs, refrigerators, graphic processing system, and air conditioning system. There are two types of heatsink. Active heatsink. An active heatsink is a combination of heatsink and a fan. Passive heatsink. A passive heatsink is a heatsink with a fan. Disk drive. A disk drive is a device which is used to read the data and write the data on computer disks. Hard drive is the most commonly used disk drive, which can store large amount of data on it. The disk drives can be built inside the CPU or can be used as an external device which is connected to the CPU through drop cables. Other types of disk drives include CD drive, DVD drive, etc. Hard drives and other removable disk drives use magnetic head to read or write the data on it, whereas optical drives use laser for this purpose. Ports. A port is a connection point hole which is usually found on the front or back of the computer system and is used to connect the external devices to the system. To connect the external devices to the computer system, their cables are plugged in the ports. Like to connect the mouse to the computer, you need to connect it by plugging its cable to the specific port to the back of the CPU cabinet. Let us discuss about the various ports in this section. Description. PS/2. It is a 6-pin connector which is used to connect the mouse and the keyboard to the computer. It has a purple color code for the keyboard and a green color code for the mouse. Serial port is a 9-pin connector which is considered as a communication port which is used to transmit one bit at a time over a communication channel. It is mainly used for devices where high-speed data transmission is not a big concern. Parallel port is a communication port which is used to transmit multiple bits at a time over a communication channel. It is mainly used for devices where high-speed data transmission is a main concern. Audio ports are used for the connection of audio devices like speakers, headphones, microphones, etc. to the computers. VGA port is a 15-pin connector and looks similar to serial port, but serial port has pins whereas VGA has holes in it. It is used in computers, projectors, video cards, and high-definition TVs to connect monitors or projectors to the computer. Digital video interface is a high-speed digital interface between a display controller like computer and display device like monitor. It is used to transmit digital video without any loss of signals. It has replaced the VGA technology. Separate video connector is used for transmitting only video signals. It is found in all TVs and computers and produce better video quality. HDMI port is a digital connector which is used to connect high-definition devices like computers, monitor, HDTV, Blu-ray players, gaming consoles, high-definition cameras, etc. to the computer. USB is used to connect peripheral devices to the computer and used for data transmission. It also acts as power supply for devices connected to it. It has replaced serial ports, parallel ports, PS/2 connectors, game ports, and power chargers for portable devices. RJ45 connector is an 8-pin connector which is used as an interface between computer and Internet. It is also called Ethernet. External hardware components. External hardware are those parts of the computer which are connected to the computer system externally by using separate cables. These devices are also called peripheral devices. There are 3 types of peripheral devices, as input devices, output devices, storage devices, input devices. Input devices are those parts of the computer system which are used to enter data to the computer. These devices convert the data into binary form and sends it to the processor for processing. In this section, we will discuss about the commonly used various input devices. Tech tip: binary data is the digital data which is in the form of 0s and 1s. Keyboard. A keyboard is an input device which is used to enter text to the computer. This text includes alphabets, A-Z, numbers, 0 - special characters. A keyboard contains various keys on it which needs to be pressed to enter the data into the computer. The various keys on the keyboard include A. Alphanumeric keys. These keys are used to enter alphabets like A to Z and numeric values like 0 to 9 to the computer. There are 26 alphabetic keys and 10 numeric keys. B. Cursor control keys. These are arrow keys which are used to move the cursor left or right, up or down. C. Function keys. There are 12 function keys which are used to perform some specific functions depending on the application in which they are used. D. Special keys. There are some special keys which are used for some specific functions like enter spacebar, delete, backspace, tab, etc. E. Combination keys. Combination keys are used in combination with other keys to perform some tasks like Ctrl, Alt, and Shift keys. Mouse. A mouse is an input device which plays an important role while working on computers. It is also called a pointing device because it is used to control the pointer on the screen. When you move a mouse on a mousepad, a pointer moves on the screen. A mouse is small in size and has 2 buttons on it. Left mouse button. It appears to the left side of the mouse. Right mouse button. It appears to the right side of the mouse. Types of mouse. Trackball mouse. Trackball mouse is a mechanical mouse which has a ball inside it. When you move the mouse on a mousepad, the ball moves along with it. As the ball moves, the pointer moves on the screen. Optical mouse. In optical mouse, there is infrared light which is used to move the pointer on the screen, and there is no ball inside the mouse. Wireless optical mouse. This type of mouse is similar to optical mouse, but the only difference is that wireless optical mouse uses Bluetooth technology and there is no use of wires as it is in other types of mouse. A mouse can be used to perform various functions. Mouse functions. Description. Clicking. You can select anything by clicking the left mouse button once. Double-clicking. You can open an application by pressing the left mouse button twice rapidly. Right-click on pressing the right mouse button once. It will display a list of options. Drag and drop. You can move an object from one place to the other. For this, press the left mouse button once, hold it, and then move the mouse to drag the object. Then release the mouse. The file is moved to the new location where you release the mouse button. Output devices. Output devices are those parts of a computer system which are used to produce and display the output. It receives the output from the processor and converts it into human-readable form and provides the output to the user. There are various types of output devices like monitor. A monitor looks like a TV screen. It displays the work that we do on a computer. It also displays the results and movement of the mouse pointer on the screen. A monitor is also known as VDU, Visual Display Unit. The information that we see on a monitor is called soft copy. Types of monitors. CRT, cathode ray tube. These monitors are big in size and consume more power. LCD, liquid crystal display. These monitors have flat type of screen and consumes less power. LED, light emitting diode. These monitors have better display. These are thinner and lighter in weight. They consume 40% less power than LCDs and last longer. These monitors are maximum in use today. Printers. Printer is an output device which is used to take the output on a paper called printout. It produces the hard copy of the output. It can be used to print black and white or colored copies of prints. It is an external hardware component which attaches to the computer through an USB port. They come in various types, sizes, and shapes. Printers can be categorized into two types. A. Impact printers. Impact printers are used to print on a paper by thumping the print head on it. The print head strikes against the inked ribbon to make a print on the sheet. Example: dot matrix printers, daisy wheel printers, chain printers, etc. B. Non-impact printers. Non-impact printers are used to print by using the laser technology or inkjet technology. The print head does not strike against the inked ribbon to print a paper. These printers produce high quality of prints. Example: laser printers, inkjet printers, etc. Speakers. Speakers are used to produce the output in the form of voice signals. It is a hardware device which is separately attached to the system using separate cables, or it can be inbuilt in the system. It comes in various types, shapes, and sizes. Projector. A projector is an output device which is used to project the rays of light to produce the picture or video on the screen, like a projector screen or wall. These projectors are commonly used in schools or colleges for teaching, in offices or companies, while giving presentations, and in theaters to show movies. Storage devices. Storage devices are the devices which are used to store the data. This data can be of any type like text, graphics, images, sound, movies, games, and so on. There are various storage devices which are used to store the data. Some devices are built inside the computer and some needs to be used externally. Each device has different storage capacity. These devices can store the data temporarily or permanently. Let us learn about the various types of computer memories. Hard disk. Hard disk, also known as fixed disk, is fixed inside the CPU. It contains magnetic disks which can store large amount of data. A collection of disks inside the hard disk are called platters. It is the largest data storage hardware device which can store up to 8 terabytes of data. In these days, you can also find external hard disks which can be connected to the CPU through a cable. Those hard disks are easily portable. Pen drive. Pen drive, also called USB flash drive, is the commonly used storage device because it is very small in size and provides a large storage capacity. It is so small that you can easily carry it in your pocket. The minimum storage capacity of a pen drive is 4 GB, which can go up to 512 GB. You can store texts, audios, videos, and images in it. CD compact disc. CD is a thin circular-shaped storage device that stores data in it. It is shiny at one side where the data is stored in tracks and sectors. It can store data up to 700 MB. This data can be texts, graphics, pictures, audios, and videos in both readable and rewritable format. It is portable in nature but needs to be handled carefully. A single scratch can destroy the data in it. DVD digital versatile. Disc DVD, also known as digital video disc, is another commonly used storage medium which looks like a CD but provides more storage capacity than a CD. It has a minimum storage of 4.7 GB and can hold data up to 17 GB, including texts, graphics, audios, and videos, or any other data and information. It is portable in nature as well and needs to be handled carefully because a single scratch can destroy the data in it. Blu-ray disc. Blu-ray disc is a digital optical disc which is used for data storage. It has a large storage capacity and it can store a high-definition long video with great resolution. It is mainly developed for recording, rewriting, and playing a video with high definition and for storing large amount of data. It is rapidly replacing the digital versatile disc DVD because it can store 6 times more data than a DVD. It is called Blu-ray disc because it uses blue-violet laser to read the data from it and write the data onto it. A quick review. A computer is an electronic machine used to perform various tasks according to the given instructions. Computer hardwares are those parts of the computer which can be touched and felt like CPU, computer monitor, keyboard, mouse, motherboard, etc. Computer softwares are the set of programs which are used to give instructions to the computer. Microprocessor or CPU is used to perform the processing of the instructions it receives through input devices. A motherboard is used to hold together various pivotal parts of the computer system, including CPU, memory, and connectors for input and output devices. Modem is a hardware device which is used to convert analog signals to digital signals and vice versa. A keyboard is an input device which is used to enter text into the computer. Digital camera is used to capture photographs and videos which are stored in its internal memory and can be later entered into the computer by using a cable. A monitor looks like a TV screen which displays the work that we do on a computer. Printer is an output device which is used to take the output on a paper called printout. Hard disk, also known as fixed disk, can store large amount of data. CD is a thin circular shaped storage device that stores